Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed good to have all of you here. And we have some among us who are real tradition bearers. They understand Tlingit culture, the culture of their own people, and what Sealaska and its Heritage Foundation has really tried to do, and we feel that it is worthwhile for all of our people to understand their history, to understand their culture, understand their songs and dances. And this makes us a better people because we understand who we are. And at this time, we are fortunate to have one who has been very, very active with the dances of his people from Haines. He's been so active, he has a program for the young people up around one of the finest lakes in southeast Alaska. Here the children are taught the traditions, how the people camped, and he has workers with him, how to prepare the berries for storage, how to dry fish, and many of the things about the culture which we just wish that more of something like this would be continuing in the various parts of Alaska for the heritage people. And at this time, I'm pleased to again present to you Austin Hammond, who just recently at the Alaska Federation of Natives Convention was awarded a plaque for his outstanding work in promoting Tlingit culture. My grandpa Austin, it's nice to have you with us.
That's good. That's good. I didn't expect to say a word today. It's good to be together. I like to talk Tlingit with my people, and Katsik, so she's going to interpret. We got to know everything what we have to do in our Tlingit way too. Yat to Qine.
As we are gathered here,
Takataya
all of us,
Dasa Hadachankiyan
all our grandchildren,
Asuksiku Atkatu Alkuyai dat
we are trying the things that we would like to pass on to our grandchildren.
Kayai dat Yakasatatin Aya Ashakata how to Huijinias Ajawa Akhiskataya Kanu Jin Takadati in Katuslinikat Taskatu Hik.
My grandfather used to tell me that whatever I am telling you now, as he was telling me stories, he would say to me, be sure that this does not get lost, but pass it on to the next generation, to your grandchildren.
Yeah, that Takade the Hayaha Takaudia Wishhank.
At this time, we are gathered here from all over to be together.
Ajoya that chance Achtiati Yitkhatane.
And at this time, I have a chance to say a few words to each and every one of you.
Ya kata khain akhil ya Skatnik, she the hen as Tatusko.
My grandfather used to tell me there are many stories and that there are very few who still know them.
A Joe, Yakados a cat, Tatkonan, Iwanaok, Yaskatnik, Ichi, the Gachut.
Again, I repeat that he would tell me not to pass away without passing it down to our descendants.
O ja, dat toch toe, ja, Kaskatini, dat ge.
I am happy to see the children, my grandchildren, at this time.
A Joe, the Yagatai, Kaha, Tank, Takati, you Nastak, how was Stake.
And this, when we first started the Alberni, as I told about our travel, coming on up from the lower from south as we were moving on up.
Akaya Shaot Nachaya, who's the cutting house the dark.
He said there was misunderstanding. We were all together. There was misunderstanding among our women, so we had separated.
Ha kak shat Aya on to Sakoya to Satana.
Except after the uncle's wife was having a good time with the nephew.
Aya kakit Koseti Hajik, Ajaya, who's the can house the dark.
And somehow this grew to the point where they could not live together again, so they moved away from each other. They went in different directions.
You kitchen in a dark out there, the Kadika Wuti.
About some history. Earlier this afternoon, we heard from the Wrangell Johnson O'Malley dancers.
And I was happy to see my sister Martha Shields is one of what used to be one of our clans.
Atayate what Hawakte. Ayashuk as I the Sagun, Tahasa was cool Nakshuka, Katkasatin, Tahtao, Austin Hammond.
And the others have settled over in Tlawak, and there's Chilkoot, who was always happy to see me and welcome me with his arms, or welcome me with his arms.
Yashukah to a Sago Yaya Ahe Yen Hakaudia.
Before we started on our journey, we always lived at a place where it's called Tlukah.
So Hasaya Yakachana Kaisuti Yarangali to a Sagoya.
And the same group, the same clan has also lived in Wrangell.
Kak Hoseti, Ya Ayatin, Ya Tihitan, Ya William Paul Sr.
And my uncle William Paul Sr. from there he was my uncle who said it was his ancestors who settled there, and he is one of the descendants, and we all know who William Paul Sr. is.
Ya Cake Oily Sutasin, the Cardenit Kawati, Ya Hunhoxeti. Ja, coach is here to a sock.
And it hasn't been very long. There has been a memorial on behalf of my brother, who is, his name is Gold Ish, that has passed on. And again, I will say they were one of us.
At Hawaii, on Goon, to Honch, Ayach.
The others were from Angoon, my older brother Aya.
To Dachoro City, Yat Sayat Hatikana, Wati, Costa, Gashana, Yato Staves.
And the other one, you have the late George Davis, who we used to see perform here with the celebration in Celebration 82. He was also one of our clan members.
Tatakara no to Konak Ehawuti. Ya Yachin Radas Kondayajin, Rechasan and Nugin Tlakako.
And others have settled over in Huna, and his name is Bakakut. We all knew each other, that we were related. We were related at one time.
At Hayaka Hakodia way, Hatto, Ayodo Asa, Taushakian.
And then we traveled on to the glacier, which is a glacier bay, and the Tlingit name is Tsimshian.
Katsuwe Hunakika, Wakayato Asok, the Katahan Oyahawuti.
And also across from Huna, there's a place called Koyek Excursion Inlet. We also moved there.
Yakehak Satakaya. Which the kindness of Cochtan Gunuga Kinach, Akaosas Kautius go Desayahan.
And as they were going to part, they all pulled their boats up together, and they asked one another. It was like having a meeting out there. They said, "Which direction are you going? Which way are you going to be leaving?"
A joy to Yater Ayakawa Ha Hetsantikahinte, a Honhohasia Esuti.
And there were some that traveled to Juneau area, where we call the Tsimshian, which is Juneau, Alaska today, and it was called the Flounder Creek explanation of Tsimshian. And there were also his brothers again that settled here.
Ahanoa Yahashakanach Nandahakaudia. Yate Shilto Sayete.
And it is our clan that have moved on up to Haines, where we also call Deshu today. In Tlingit, it's called Deshu.
When I kill Ayaha would tea, a clear cook would teach. Where not one they were in the Staccato Asakuya, as Tahiti Haida.
And then we moved on up to 4 Mile. It's called Yendestachia today, where the plains land today. That there was our village there. That was our village site, and there's still places there where our buildings were set up. Our tribal clan houses were set up.
When na key 19 Mile to a sock, hot atke city.
And then we moved on up to 19 Mile from a place called Katwaltu. That became our place of residence again. And as they were at 19 Mile, they said to one another, "Let's go on up further." And as they traveled up further up the Chilkoot River, they landed at Tlakwan. And as he heard Mr. Coons, Edward Coons, this morning, as he was telling each one of you that when you are entering a new territory or a new land where you have never been, and you're coming in, the boat never came up right to the shore immediately. They held out. They didn't row right onto the beach. And that's the way they approached Tlakwan. As they were pulling up, they held their canoes out with poles. As you know, the river goes, and they were holding out their canoe out. They didn't land. And then there was a gentleman who came down and asked them, "Where is this boat coming from?"
You just caught, sing good train, you the Sakun. Hasha the honey.
And they were going on up to see their great person. His name was Tlingit, meaning a great person. That's who they were going up to see.
Kawai kawa kudwaka. Kudaksea hati kautia as kautawus.
And they asked them, the man that came down to meet the canoe asked their boat, said, where are you coming from?
Kawai alnasawasa. Shikok takaya.
And then they said that they were coming from Chilkoot. And this man that asked them said, well, you're going to be Chilkoot Adi, like that's the name that he bears, his clan has today. And that is why we have that name Chilkoot Adi today, and the same Chilkoot Adi clan has also moved on up to Yakutat. And that is why a little bit ago there was a lot of children here. And I went around by them and told them, you are all my grandchildren.
And
that is the way our culture is. Our culture roots out to all areas.
Tusaku jaya deksa sati
and that is why today, as we gather together, we ask one another who we are, and if we explain to them who we are, they know that they are related one way or another.
Aja kan khanikatiata yana ki khudedo asako ya khatkha tanatat kakayes.
And the reason why I mentioned this part is that I have opened up Chilkoot, which is Chilkoot. You'll see it on a map, Chilkoot, the Chilkoot River, for the children, for the cultural, to have a cultural camp. And we carry on just like similar to this, a little bit of everything, how the culture is, and we teach them the dances or the culture and how to live. They are also taught how to do the button blankets and different type of sewing, beading, and they've worked on their own to use at a doings like today.
Chilkoot dances.
And now you will see them later on in the program. You're going to see the Chilkoot dancers, which comes from a Chilkoot cultural camp. They gave themselves the name, and you'll see their own the blankets that they made. And we also have a carver, and he is almost, the best carver there to teach the children who are sent to the camps to learn how to do their cultural art in carving. And also we have almost a master in basket weaving that teaches our children, the young children who go up there, to learn how to do the basket weaving.
Ade yeda dunenu jia takadat ushkoanade testastege kade da duneya khade da duneya yaskut kak.
And they are also taught how to put up their own native food, the different types of way to prepare the salmon, and how to get the wood, and really living with the nature.
Haia dat ade adag achtuil kenas zien takat yede haia de khadi acht takatat yat khatinea ja anguch achti da doati ata dag even punch
Dasiji de doati.
Plaat. Was ik de sattling getreinig.
He has been given a plaque from Anchorage. I'm not too familiar with it, so I had to ask him, and it's all in regard to this cultural camp that he has started, and they honored him for it. Yeah, okay.
Ja, dat ga takada de Chilkoot. Ja, dat ga het chankes sane. Kakegach tu sahat. So ja dana wish ka nakhoti. Aje dai khatan.
And at this time, economically, things are very kind of rough. In order for the children to come, their way has to be paid. And this is why I am speaking now on behalf of the Chilkoot Cultural Camp. We need your help.
Kaya yatat isat latu aya kho dasqin. Astu jaqeqa kanak age. Ja khart staat khatayekh ko thalta sa. Tchakha jo adai khogudin. Ja yitne ko aya astu yitne khin kaya tlashat jo jaqeqa qas qatis.
And those that are helping in teaching the younger children that attend there, their pay is not enough, and yet they help out. And we also had volunteers that came to help them. And at this, I would say, when I first started, I did not look for any pay. I was helping them to learn the culture and telling the stories to them. But we do need help for those that are teaching them. They take the job because they want to tell the children the culture or teach the children the culture, even if they do not get a very big pay for it.
Next summer, God say,
And I would appreciate it if you would, when we open up the camp, that different ones would help out with donations to help the camp go on. And it's just like as if the tide has been just settled for so long, and now it's beginning to move towards our native culture. And again, I will say it is a very, very good to see this with our grandchildren participating in the Tlingit culture.
Ja, dat dag het toen na. Ja, dat goed. Tlingit geen gek te gaan het hoorsaak. Te gaan dat toe te zien. Ja, dat iets ados cool.
And I would like to add that we have a person who is here. Her name is Kak Dagan, and she is in the audience. We appreciate how hard she works for this, so the cultural camp can keep going.
I
would like to say this, she does all her work as volunteer, and she helps also with the telephone bills and whatever needs to be done. She is working hard so that everything can go right at the cultural camp. And we have never given her anything for the work she has done for the cultural camp. She refuses if we offer it to her. Shall I mention? And this is Julia Folta. Sheesh.
Joey, that the car who's a hot too, think it at the sock. The two to hot J, or they in the year. The cocky is so true cocaine got the sheik on. Yeah, that yatach, the catitach, ayakotaya, yana ehachan.
And at this time, I would appreciate help from each and every one of you for the cultural camp. We do get children from all over Alaska.
Kaya dat Sealaska to Asako Haida Tashikon Kaya Gold Belt Tlingit and Haida Takadedach Haida Tashe.
And at this time, I will ask Sealaska and the Gold Belt and the others that we need your help with the cultural camp.
Yeah. Sealaska Jaya Hachtisa Watak Ya Tatk this Koneso Atiaso Chan Kaya Suster Utashis to Urchachuch. I
also would like to say that it's through the Sealaska that helped me get the land. And even then, I'm still asking them to help me again.
Take a tea, was a good Ochtatani, that Handco de Coste. Dicht Hacation Achich, Yaktat Tach. Akaesta Hakach. I
would like to mention that the children that came from Yakutat a couple of years ago, I talked with them as I do with the other children. Be sure, and when you get home, to tell your parents and that what you have learned here at the cultural camp.
Da sasay da kayana kitach aqawas asatleche at kokhatin qanakhasa khijatlich ya datawa khatkhas aya wa tantsiyat Chilkoot ayach.
And when I went back to Yakutat, I learned from the people there that the children who have gone back that attended the Chilkoot cultural camp, they learned how to do the Tlingit dances. And later on, and when I was up there, I saw them dance, and they really performed. And now I understand they have opened up their own cultural camp up there.
And
this is what I would like to say to each one of you who have children and grandchildren. When you sent them to the Chilkoot cultural camp, they are learning their culture. They are learning how it was when their grandfathers, their great-grandfathers lived here in Alaska. And it is a must for them to learn who they are, who they could identify with.
Ja, dat was goed zo je zakheid zo tegen heen. James Grant en na cage. Kijk na gatte aya ahan. Aya dan kijk achter tegen en na cage kook. Als toe dan nee dat shit. Je kan niet doen dat.
At this time I would like to say again that we need your help. And I always heard James Grant, one of our elders who passed on, he's from Juneau, he always said we are all the large Koho tribe, which is Tlingit. And now it is our time to give. Now this is at a memorial doings. And when you be sure to reach in your pocket and give what you can.
Ja, shukha. Yes, you to us. Ajo ye you khatanin. Take Nachate, yeah, James Grant, Take oyati oyes kachak ananaksa take a tooth hayakausi hatatane.
And you all know that the raven, there is only one raven. And from the raven, there are many clans. And so our roots go into every village in Alaska. And also the same way with the eagles. We are all related one way or another. Our roots enter into others. It intertwines. I'm very well encouraged by the way I see the young people participating in this celebration 86. I am encouraged because they are getting a hold of the culture, and I appreciate each and every one of you to listen to me at this time. Thank you very much.